when we log in, we first, of course, have the branding for the clinic there, which office it is. So each office, there's multiple office options, as well as each office can have its own location, which would be tied to the billing address of the office. So if you go rural or part-time to a certain location, that would be part of another of a specific office. The room is identified by IP, so you can find different clinicians in their rooms. You can actually find them on a map. And your username, of course, and password. So I'll just log in.
Okay.
So just in terms of technical options, it does have its own update feature.
Okay.
And under hearing aids, it does upload its own hearing aid lists too. These are provided by the manufacturers.
Okay.
And when manufacturers update, it's pushed forward to the system. So you don't have to enter your own hearing aids per se, but if, of course, you want to sell something before the manufacturer updates their spreadsheet, you can just simply add a hearing aid model, make whatever, to the system.
Brilliant.
And then once you do the updates, once the manufacturer does do their spreadsheet update, then you can sync the information and say, well, I'd like to keep my version of this product or theirs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right, so you don't have duplicates. So that just aside. But the first thing that pops up will be, in this case, the patient selections. You can see the tab here for that. If I do go into my Earworks, which is under the Tools menu, I can determine what I see when I log in.
Okay.
Under the login options. So here I can say, I want to see my active tasks or my alerts, payments, whichever. So administrators might want to see different things than clinicians do. So in this case, we just see the patient selection once it starts.
Okay.
Right. So the interface is very customizable. We find that a lot of software is built around back-end reporting more than front-end usage. So the usability of the software is very much geared towards people enjoying what they're doing and enjoying the interface and customizing it in colors and designs and layouts and so forth to their own needs. So everybody in the clinic can have a different look to the software. So as an example, if I go put a wildcard in here, let's just take John Smith. And pull up his file, I will see the layout, the standard layout for this particular user in a moment. So as that loads, I'm on a attached drive right now, so it's a little slower than usual.
Okay. Yeah.
We have the header up here, so we have a picture option here, their title, their age, their main contact information, and then whether they're private pay or third party.
Okay.
You have the option of having a patient ID, but you don't need it. And then the file is laid out by pages on the left here, so summary, patient info, tests, and so forth.
Okay.
And then on each are panes. So I can drag these panes around. For example, open invoices or recommendations. I'll just open it up like so. So in terms of hearing aids, we can make a recommendation, turn it into a quote, turn the quote into an order, the order into it becomes the sale, right? And that becomes the automatic invoicing.
Okay.
On the right, you have the sidebar, so it has the username. In this case, it's just opened up a new hearing aid selection. So just as this opened up, I'll just show you real quick. So you have the option of searching by technology, type of feedback, directionality, style, and so forth, and it'll find the hearing aids that match it. That then can be added to a quote. The quote and recommendation can become the order.
Okay.
Close that out. So on the right here, you have the day plan. So in this case, we have a call to follow up is a recurrent task that's been set up. Maybe this particular version has been opened very recently.
Okay.
So there's a lot of them. But I can just close that and look at my current tasks, any new messages I have, and then stacks and easy memos. So stacks is another usability feature where I might be in the middle of writing a report and I don't want to finish it or I can't finish it. I can add it to a stack rather than setting myself a task to go back and find it later. So if I go into a new item under my menu bar and I say a new report for this character, and this is the type of report I'm going to do, then I can start writing it and say, you know what, I'm going to get back to this later, so I'm going to go up to the top right, add to stack, and give you the option of saying I'm going to create a new stack of unfinished reports, and then you'll say that it's been added to the stack. And now I can just close it. I don't have to do anything else. But in my stacks, I now have this. So any time I could just double click it and it will come right back up.
Okay.
Until I remove it. In the same way up here, you have links, so you can scan in. You go paper free with the system, so you scan in your paperwork associated with it. So if I have any previous reports, I might want to scan them in and attach them to the file, and link them to this report. Immediately, I would have them here.
Okay.
Right. So. Easy Memos is what it is. I mean, I can just quickly add a memo and on the bottom right here, and take a message from the phone and get back to it later.
Okay.
So I've got really several areas here. I've got my menus at the top, my toolbar, my various pages that are open. On the right, I've got my sidebar, which I can also minimize. Do you see the sidebar or no? Sometimes in these shared screens, it doesn't show.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then on the right, of course, we have the pages of the patient file and then the associated panes per file. So if we go into the patient info, this is what we mentioned. These are the basic fields that we have. These can be edited, of course, to the needs in the UK.
Okay. It looks pretty. Yeah. I mean, it's little things like the postcode. The postcode it's obviously alphanumeric. I can see that. The city drop down, is that editable? Can we, if we needed to add county, for example,
yes,
those fields can be edited?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's also defaults. So area codes, cities, provinces, or provinces.
Yeah.
Several things could be defaulted under company settings.
Okay.
We'll go in there, and I can say. So the default city
just for a quick clarification, this localization of address and postal codes and things like that, like county instead of province and all these things, can easily be made. That's definitely not a huge change in the system. More complicated is when it comes to procedures. Like let's say you don't you always sell hearing aids with accessories in one, and you're supposed to only put one line on the invoice for both items, and that's going to make it complicated. Right?
Okay.
I mean, things that will work in other ways than in North America, but for addresses, yeah, that's very easy to customize.
Okay, great.
So as we go through this, you can list all the tests would be listed here. You can scroll through them so you can see multiple tests and use that in counseling. Financials, pretty straightforward. It is what it is. There's bills, invoices, payments, quotes, all that stuff.
Okay.
The products that they have, hearing aids, ear molds, and assistive devices. Under actions, we have your tasks, messages, services that are ongoing, and so forth. And under documents, you have attachments, clinical forms. So this also includes the some subjective testing. So case history is editable. You can have multiple different case history formats.
Okay.
The COSI, hearing handicap inventory, QuickSim, AFAB, whatever they use.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
So a lot of the systems don't have those forms. And the QuickSim, are you guys familiar with the QuickSim?
No.
It's a personal favorite of mine. So it's a great test. It's a very quick test. The only problem with it is that the scoring of it is time consuming, and so this takes care of everything because it calculates the entire score.
Okay.
So if I were to create it real quick, I can just play track 3 on the CD.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Move it over, left, right. It gives me a printout of the signal to noise ability to hear by ear, binaurally, and great for counseling. So it's very simple. And then you can add pages. So in this case, Nicole added her page, and these are the panes that she wanted to see on it. So
Okay.
again, everybody can customize it. If you don't want to use pages that there are, create your own.
Great.
And each one, of course, is editable as well. Whenever you see the little cogwheel, it allows you to pretty much change anything. So I can take services out of there and add something else instead.
Okay.
So that is the patient file, and everything is contextual up here. So it's easy to start anything new. You don't have to go to patient file and then start something. You simply say, no, I'm on John Smith's file right now, but I want to write a letter to somebody else about Earl, for example. And I can say I'm going to do a hearing consulting letter, and off we go.
Okay.
So everything here would be defaulted. So if I like this particular header, I save it for next time, mark it as default.
Right.
Save it. So once you have written a few letters, essentially it's just a point and click at that point.
Sure.
You just pull down and select the content that you want, and then edit it from there. Yeah, so that's the quick and easy way. Under orders and services, we do have a receiving wizard, so it creates the AP and AR and all the billings as you receive the hearing aid.
Mm-hmm.
There's a list of hearing aids to check. There are a list of people to call. So all of it is very much organized around the normal flow of the clinic.
Sure.
Appointments, let's look at the scheduler. And this can be exported to both the iCal format as well as the Outlook format.
Oh, right, okay.
So you have closed out times, you have blocks, and you can block slots, create appointments.
Okay.
You can hold slots as well. And there's a great little template builder. It's part of the scheduling that allows you to pencil in. The system will pencil in all of the profitable appointments that you would need to make a certain sales target. So if you wanted to make 50 sales in let's say February 2012, I'm going to make 50 sales targets. And it'll look at all of the fittings, follow-ups, and the tests that you would need to do in order to meet that sales target based on the binaural and sales hit rate per test of the clinicians involved.
Okay.
And it's a 3-step process, looks at the statistics, and then pencils those in. It builds the template. So as long as we fill those templates lots with the appropriate appointments, we should make that many sales.
Great.
And under financials, of course, you can also count your cash and do a bank deposit using the system. Seeing what your cash flow is like, finding the money. So this is there's no, of course, receivables in here right now, but if there were, under the empty space here, under forecastable payments, there would be a timeline and saying, based on my billings, in about 2 weeks, I'm expecting $10,000.
Sure.
I can foresee that graphically and quickly make a decision on, say, marketing that I want to do.
Okay.
And another tool similar to that is the Clearworks Alerts, and this will check your entire system for any potential red flags. So it'll look for overdue patient invoices, credits that haven't been credited, or returns that haven't been credited, pending refunds that you need to issue.
Yeah.
And all of these are then hyperlinked so that you go right into those and deal with them specifically without having to then print out a list, go back into the patient file, find it, and deal with it.
Sure.
So as long as everything here says okay, then you're running a clean operation.
Highly unlikely.
Pardon me?
Highly unlikely.
Yeah. Well, some do. I mean, it's amazing. It's great when everything's on the up and up. So export to accounting, we've got the QuickBooks set up here.
Which version of QuickBooks is supported?
Lorraine, can you answer that one?
Yeah, so we have support for QuickBooks 2007,